So to place numbers on fractions on a number line, I get students to draw a number line and just put 0 at one end and 1 at the other. Because most of the time when we're dealing with these fractions, we're dealing with fractions that are less than 1. So this isn't an improper fraction right now, and it's not a mixed number, so it's not greater than 1. So we'll just draw 0, 1, and then a half. Now, normally, the denominator, again, is the most important number because it says how many pieces the whole is cut into. And like in the last video, we're saying I usually do a chocolate bar. So this chocolate bar would have 6 pieces. So let's pretend this number line was a chocolate bar, the length of this. Well, it should be cut up equally into 6 pieces. But I find students have a hard time with that, especially when you're dealing with some different, like really large fractions, which we'll look at in a second. So it's important, and it can be, you can practice that at home. But I just want students to have an awareness of where these fractions would be on a number line in relation to each other. They don't have to have the exact, it's more to know where they would kind of fit in relation with each other. So what I get students to do is have, well, if this is 2/6, so we're dealing with sixths here. If I had a whole chocolate bar, and a chocolate bar has 6 pieces in it, then I'd have 6 out of the 6 pieces. I'd have all of them, all 6 pieces. And if I had none of the pieces, I'd have 0 out of the 6 pieces, 0, 6. And if I had half of the pieces in the chocolate bar, I'd have 3 out of the 6 pieces. So once students have done that, then you have to decide where would 2/6 fit on this number line. If this is 0, 6, and this is 3, 6, well, where would 2/6 fit? And this is where you can say, well, how many numbers are between 0 and 3? We'll need, and they have to be evenly spaced. So I'll say 1, 2, and then 3. So I've got 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So 2/6 would be right here then. In here, 2/6. Then, if I was going to get the students to put multiple fractions on the same number line, they just repeat that same process where they put 0, 1, and a half. And let's say I had, 3/4, and maybe the other one was like a high fraction, like 24/40. So now, I'm dealing with fourths here. So the chocolate bar has 4 pieces. That's what the denominator means. So I'm going to go over to 1, and I'm going to say, well, if they have one whole chocolate bar, they've got 4 out of the 4 pieces. If they have none of the pieces in the chocolate bar, they have 0 out of the 4. And if they have half the chocolate bar, well, they'd have 2 out of the 4 pieces. So now, where would 3 out of 4 fit? Well, here's 2 out of 4. Here's 4 out of 4. So 3 out of 4 would fit right in the middle of that. So 3/4 or 3/4. Now I want to put 24/40 on this same number line. So I'm just going to change the color so it makes it a little easier to see. So again, they repeat the same process. If I had one whole chocolate bar, and we're dealing with 40 pieces in a whole chocolate bar, then I'd have 40 out of the 40 pieces, all 40 of them. If I had none of the chocolate bar, I'd have 0 out of the 40 pieces. And if I had half of the chocolate bar, I'd have 20 out of the 40 pieces. So where would 24 fit? 24/40? Well, to kind of be a little more exact, you could say to your child, this is 20, this is 40. What's halfway between those? Well, that's 30 out of 40. So 20, and what's half of between 20 and 30? Well, that's 25 out of 40. So 24 would be, really close to the 25. So we can put it here, 24 out of 40.